What's good? It's your boy Fanon. All right, man. Great night of fights last night. We're going to talk about the Terence Crawford fight and the undercard of the Terence Crawford fight. And man, I was really happy with the fight. I enjoyed it. I bought the pay-per-view, and I'm glad I bought it. Glad that I supported Bud. Bud still number one pound for pound fighter in the world in my book. And Amir Khan, took his first opportunity to get out of that ring, but I'm going to talk about it. And then I'm also going to talk about Teofimo Lopez and Shakur Stevenson. The big star of the night to me was Shakur Stevenson. He looked absolutely, he looked spectacular. Big improvement from the last time I saw him. I'm really looking forward to seeing him the next time. Teofimo Lopez, a little less so, but let's chop it up. Before I do that though, I want to welcome you back to the channel. If you're not subscribed, hit the subscribe button and the bell icon so you can be notified of when we release more videos. We do them pretty much daily. We also have a lot of good live streams, and also check out the Patreon on our channel, man. It would be, for longtime subscribers, that's where we talk about a lot of really good stuff that we can't do on the YouTube channel. I hope to see you guys there. Terence Bud Crawford controlled that fight from the beginning to the end. It was, I won't say that Amir Khan didn't come to fight. Amir Khan, I think, did come to fight, but it was pretty clear early on that Terence Crawford was just too strong for him. He was too fast for him, and it was only a matter of time before he got Amir Khan out of there. Amir Khan got knocked down. I think he got knocked down in the first round. He also I think he got wobbled a couple other times besides that. And, Terence Crawford did what I thought he was going to do. Now, I thought that the fight was going to be a knockout. I predicted it was going to be around, a 9th or 10th round stoppage, because I thought that Amir Khan might be able to, I thought Amir Khan had a little more power than he showed and might have had the ability to get the respect of Terence Crawford, but I don't think he really even had that. As he landed a few good shots on Terence Crawford, but they were very, they really didn't have any effect, and it didn't keep Terence Crawford from just staying right there with him and, putting a lot of pressure on him and breaking him down. The fight stopped, as most people know, with a low blow from Terence Crawford. It was definitely a low blow. Whether or not he hit him in his private parts, I don't think he did. There's a lot of people, that's saying there's no way that he hit him in his manhood. But because it was off to the side, it was on his hip, but it still was a low blow. I mean, the rules are you hit somebody below the belt, it's a low blow. You're not supposed to do it. It is what it is. Terence Crawford, Amir Khan then went into the corner, and then his trainer, Virgil Hunter, stopped the fight, which was smart. They could have, honestly, man, they could have stopped that fight earlier. And because there's no way that Amir Khan was going to win that fight. It was going downhill. There's a chance, that Amir Khan could have made it out of the fight on his feet, but he literally just had nothing to make Terence Crawford even think about stepping back and thinking about what he was going to do. So it was a good stoppage. Amir Khan now, at least he has a chance, I guess, of getting another fight, but in that the way that he lost, I really don't think that there's going to be too much interest in any more Amir Khan fights. Definitely not on my part. It was a mismatch, man. It was a mismatch going in. It was a mismatch in the ring. It was a mismatch going out. And I think Amir Khan against any of the top 147 guys at this point in time is going to be a mismatch. There was a lot of talk about how Amir Khan had never lost at welterweight. But man, come on, he'd been knocked out at 135. He'd also been knocked out at 154, or maybe what did he fight, close to 160 against Canelo Alvarez. But whatever the case is, Amir Khan was just, he just doesn't have it anymore. And, and that's a wrap, man. Terence Crawford, interesting thing though, man, I gotta listen to the audio on the fight again, but it seemed as if Max Kellerman and Andre Ward were going back and forth about whether or not this performance kept Terence Crawford at the number one pound for pound, or whether he lost that to Lomachenko because Lomachenko's performance was better than Terence Crawford's performance. I think that was the conversation that they had. I'm hearing from other people that come to the channel that was the gist of what was going on and being said. And if so, that is just trash. Amir Khan was not nearly the tomato can in that fight this last night that Anthony Corolla was against Vasyl Lomachenko. Amir Khan, although, man, he was going to lose that fight. He was definitely outclassed. He was definitely outgunned. At least he punched. At least he tried to fight. He moved. He didn't stand there just taking shots. He had started trying to come forward on Terence Crawford. Terence Crawford actually got hit in that fight because Amir Khan tried to win. For whatever small amount of time he tried to do it, he realized that it was just going to go downhill and there ain't no way he was going to get out of that. But he started out trying to fight. And that's something that Anthony Corolla did not do. So to have people say that Amir Khan, Terence Crawford, who in my book is the number one pound for pound guy along with Canelo Alvarez, somehow because Terence Crawford stops Amir Khan. Amir Khan is a named fighter who's a former world champion who it was less of a mismatch than the Lomachenko versus Corolla fight. Corolla was a mandatory challenger who had absolutely no business at any point in his career being in there with a guy that is the level of Vasyl Lomachenko. That's not the case with Amir Khan. Amir Khan has been in the ring with quality fighters. He's beaten quality fighters. He's past it now. He's a legitimate fighter. He's a former world champion. That's not what Anthony Corolla is. And to try to use, and if Max Kellerman said that, it's obvious he wanted to do that before the fight even started. And because the logic of it is just flawed. The logic of that is completely flawed. But, you get flawed logic when you get flawed concepts like the pound for pound whole conversation. The fact of the matter is Lomachenko's probably the best 135 pound fighter, and Terence Crawford has, a claim to be the best 147 pounder. Of course, we need to see him in there with the other champions at 147 pounds, but he has unified his belts at 140. So he's more accomplished than Vasyl Lomachenko. I think he's every bit as skilled as Vasyl Lomachenko. But even if you thought that Vasyl Lomachenko was the number one pound for pound guy, if you thought that before either one of these fights, that's one thing. But to make an argument that something happened in these last two fights that would change your opinion, to me is just super flawed. But anyway, also back onto this, to Teofimo Lopez. Teofimo Lopez, I think Teofimo Lopez, and he probably needs to slow his roll on that Lomachenko fight. And also, I really do believe he needs to learn how to fight a little bit better. And, it was not a tremendous performance by him at all. I don't think it steps him back in my eyes at all. But, he was fighting against a guy that didn't want to fight back. And that's always, that's not always difficult because, hey, man, that's what Anthony Corolla was doing. But this guy that Lopez was fighting was running away. He wasn't just standing there taking punches like Corolla was. He was actually moving away, feinting, trying to stay away, and just trying to avoid not looking really bad. The first big body shot that landed on him, though, he doubled over, and that was a wrap. But Shakur Stevenson, on the other hand, looked spectacular, absolutely spectacular. I can't remember the name of the subscriber that's always coming to the channel talking about Shakur Stevenson. Man, I am thoroughly impressed by what I saw last night. He looked strong. He looked extremely well conditioned. He was in there with a very, very crafty guy. I think the guy that he was in there was a better fighter than the guy Teofimo Lopez fought. This guy was clearly experienced, crafty, trying to step on Shakur Stevenson's feet. I love how Shakur Stevenson starts with combinations to the top, but ends with very nice body shots, substantial body shots at the end of the combination. Man, look, great job. I had him, Shakur Stevens, at the lower end of the top prospects behind Devin Haney and behind Teofimo Lopez, those younger guys in that weight class, along with Ryan Garcia, ahead of Ryan Garcia, but behind Devin Haney and Teofimo Lopez. And I seriously have to reconsider that now because of how that guy looked in that step-up fight. Tremendous fight. Anyway, it was a great fight, man. I'm going to probably do another video on the PBC card, which was also a pretty interesting card. Danny Garcia did his thing, looked really good against Adrian Granados, a tough Adrian Granados. But anyway, with that, I'm out. Peace.